Hello, I'm a leader who has survived trauma, and I'm also a leader who at times have perpetrated that trauma onto my team members. While I've spent over a decade of my life building practices to develop compassion and calmness and groundedness, and this is normally what's reflected to me from my team members, that I am the calm in the middle of a storm, that I am the safest person that they have to turn to, and that they are always seen and heard when they come to me. And yet, there are times when I am triggered that I have returned to manipulative behaviors, myopic thinking, and a disregard for my team members' well being. And I'm not alone in noticing how trauma impacts us as leaders. 78.8% of military leaders noticed a decline in their leadership ability after a large T event or a large traumatic event. And recently, just published 2 months ago, was a paper that collective trauma and the development of leader values is an omitted and yet increasingly important area of research. So if this is a topic that we need to be addressing more, what can we do now before we have that research? What we do know is that we have lots of studies on how trauma impacts us as individuals. So there's small t trauma, which is more insidious at times, and we may not understand how greatly it impacts us. And we'll cover this more in the presentation. Large T trauma, collective trauma, and generational trauma that can affect our DNA, and it also impacts the environment that we're raised in. So we're going to address all of these styles of trauma, patterns and symptoms that arise from these styles of trauma, and then we'll be able to extrapolate that to how this may be affecting us as leaders. And these trauma patterns, they're not active all the time, but when we're under high stress or a new triggering event arises, that is when these patterns can come up. So it's important for us to be aware of them, see where they've affected us in the past, so we know what to do when they start to arise in the future. And after we cover all the different styles and patterns, we're going to leave you with an action plan of what you can do to heal yourself and be the best leader that you can be, and be aware of these invisible patterns. So I look forward to presenting this to the South by Southwest audience, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.